finally getting right. Such a day.
Jay, I burned the egg. Okay, so I woke up this morning. I woke up super early because I'm like, okay,
Okay.
everything is set. Internet is working. Let's do this. And I had great time. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I need to make breakfast for everyone. So of course, I made coffee, whatever. I put three eggs to boil.
Oh
Three
my
eggs to boil. And I was having a conversation with my husband. I was doing something, and then all of a sudden I remembered the eggs, and that was like 30 minutes later.
oh my oh my god, Michelle.
I know, and
Are
then
you serious?
I know, and then because I'm having a conversation, and the apartment it's like pretty big, so it's pretty long. So I'm like, by the time I get over there, I'd rather just text my oldest to tell her, "Hey, can you turn off the stove?" So she
Exactly.
happens to walk into the studio and goes, "Hey, mom, I turned off the stove because the water in the eggs have evaporated."
Oh my god. Oh my goodness, you left them to like oh my god. I know this. I
So
think
I
I
said,
was making tea for the family and did this once.
so I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh, fuck. I know, and I'm trying to move my table, and I can't. You know what? You know what?
everything today is not working. Are you serious? Are you serious? Nothing
You know
works.
what? I'm not. I I don't know what's stopping me from crying right now. I think it's because we're together. I think this is
Hold virtual hands and cry, girl.
yes.
Come on. I'm
I'm
feeling
holding your
frustrated.
hand. I am holding your hand. I see you. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me, Shell bitch.
Hey gente, welcome back to another week of the It's Me Shell podcast.
And remember, my job is to make your road to Friday a lot easier. Okay. Morning, afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you are, mi gente. I hope you had an amazing start to your week. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in and sharing your Monday blues with us. Welcome to the It's Me Shell podcast, Funny Gals Talk series with Jay S. and yours truly, Michelle S. This is episode 6, y'all. And on this episode, we are talking about funny period stories brought to you by my oldest daughter because she helped us pick this topic.
Kudos
So,
to her.
yes. Thank you, Minnie Shell. Thank you so much for helping out, girl.
Hi.
But before we get into it, mental health check, please. Thank you. Jay, tell the world, how are you doing?
Kind of okay. Well, there are good things. I'm, I'm not gonna complain. There are good things. But as you know, and as everybody knows, I'm like addicted to pain, aka work. So I'm missing the new book that I'm supposed to like have in a week or so, and the burning inside of me to translate to work again. It's just eating me from inside. So this is me keeping me a little bit blue, like But just out and about and just doing cool stuff here and there on the J days and interviewing people, and this is a good thing. But I can't stand the weather too, which is a bad thing. So, oscillating between, good, yeah, grateful, be grateful, Jay, and other times like, no, this is
You know what? I should sit up because I feel like I'm slouching because that's how I feel.
oh my god, I'm slouching too, but I love slouching. I don't know. It's
No,
not
so do
healthy, guys, but I'm
no,
like, this is me.
so do I. But the more I slouch, the more I kind of sulk.
We, oh my god.
So let's see. The week has been treating me as the week should be treating me. It's okay. We're fine. I'm doing great. I'm feeling great.
Awesome.
Oh, it's like insert sarcasm here. No, but my oldest daughter, she's working for the summer, so I'm very excited for her. I know, I'm super excited for her. Yeah.
Woo!
She's so lucky. She gets to keep all her money. She is so lucky. I'm just like,
Unlike us.
yeah, I know. I'm like, you're fine. Like, I don't know. People are like, she should pay a bill. I'm like, living with me.
Mom,
Like, I'm her mom. She's paying enough already.
imagine having me as a mother. Now that's payment.
I'm all over the place. She's just like, Mom. She literally looks at me. She goes, Mom, enough. No more jokes this morning. I'm like, come on. She's like, enough. Enough is enough. But she is, she's very independent this summer. So I'm very happy for her.
So
Work
proud.
is great. Thank you. She'll be very happy that I'm talking about her. Although she acts like she doesn't care. Teenager. She's like, oh, podcast, whatever.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love being. No, I don't miss being a teen. I was a messy teenager, so I don't. But it feels so good to feel like, hey, I don't care about a thing. Like oh no, mom, I'm gonna rebel against you, against the world, and like just slamming, listening to metal, and just falling in love with the wrong people. Oh my god,
I know. I
guys.
don't know if I miss that. I don't know if I miss my teenage years, but I'm glad for her. She's having like a true teenage moment. So I'm like embracing it. It's hard, but I'm embracing it.
I don't think I was independent when I was a teen, but I was a very dark gothic writer, so that
Yeah.
was good too. Like I was the poet of the school, and people were like looking up to me like a literary figure and stuff like that. And I was just going around
Fun.
like feeling tormented by the arts and stuff. Now you cannot do this; you'll be pretentious shit. But back then you were teen, so it was okay. So this is the part that I miss. I don't miss anything else.
Right. Oh, you're so cool, Jay.
Trying, baby.
That's
I'm
really cool. That's really cool.
thanks, baby.
Let's see, what else am I doing? I don't know. Ideas for the podcast are rolling in. It's moving a lot slower than I expected because I'm taking it day by day, but work is kicking my ass, but I love it. It's okay. Great things are happening there. But like always, I'm so happy that you're here, Jay, and we're about to fuck shit up.
As usual. We're always doing this. I'm like recommending us to sad people on Twitter. You have no idea. Like everybody's like, oh my god, guys, I'm going through a hard time. I'm like, and have you seen Michelle and Jay? You're your favorite. Yeah.
Look, you're having a hard time. Do you hear how aggressive we are? Come on over.
I know. Having a bad day? Tune in to Michelle and Jay.
Oh, that is so true. Even at work, I just can't see people like feeling sad. Like I can be the saddest person in the world, but I'm like, no, you shouldn't feel
No, me too, by
sad.
the
I'm
way.
like, come on. So I always try to cheer people up, but I definitely
Out of the
take
goodness of our nature, babe. This
right.
is what we do. We try to make people laugh, even though we're like inside we're sad too.
No, but I definitely bring like the same thing I bring to the podcast, I bring to work. And everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, we love coming to," as stupid as it sounds, I promise you. They're like, "Oh my gosh." It's
Of
like
course, we
first,
love
the
you.
day starts off really gloomy, but now we're just so happy we're here. Like this is so much fun. It's so nice to have fun at work. And I kind of aim to do that because I mean, it's work. Well, that's why
And
it's
the
called
world is terrible already. Like the
right.
world is already crappy. So
Right.
why make it worse, guys?
I agree, and that's why work is called work. It's not supposed to be like the funnest thing in the world, right? You're gonna have
No.
your ups and downs, but I'd rather have more ups than downs. So
Hopefully it will be more up. And at the same time, I just feel grateful for these people who in the workplace are always the ones who try to make things lighter, happier for everybody. Like these people just don't get enough credit, and I'm just so grateful for them. Whether it's me, although I've never been this person at work, at least not intentionally, or people that I've met. Like there are people that I remember, although I kind of like curse the workplace itself, but I remember the single person like, oh my god, you were amazing. You were like my umbrella. You were my ambulance. Like my parachute under the chair or something like that. And wow, I still remember them to the day. So
Hmm.
yeah, kudos to you, girl, being this person. Awesome.
so this is just who we are. Duh.
Hello.
Well, speaking about who we are, the funny gals are talking about we're talking about funny period stories. Oh, yeah, we're talking about period stories. They're probably not gonna be ours. I mean, I have 2 stories, but one of them is gonna make it to Patreon, and the other one is definitely my story. Yeah, and we're very, very excited because like everything else in life, periods are taboo, People don't want to talk about periods and our lining just shedding off our uterus. Like nobody wants to talk about that. But
Yeah.
A and I, along with Mini Shell, said, well, why not make it a funny podcast story? So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people get squeamish around periods, not just guys, even women. But I don't know. I think it's something that you should come up with and own up and just talk about because it makes it sound better, especially if you've had like I because I have polycystic ovaries, like PCOS. I've had the worst periods in the fucking world. They're
Oh,
just so painful. In the beginning, of course, I wasn't diagnosed when I was a teen. Everybody was like, "Oh, it happens to every woman," like just drink. And we're big on herbals in our family, so you just drink peppermint tea, you drink marjoram. It's a great herb, really, not just for periods, for anything. And still, I would be in pain. Like it took me a while to discover ketoprofen or ibuprofen, like all this amazing NSAIDs and stuff like that. But
mhm.
even before I discovered them, it was hell, and I didn't realize like why. Some of my classmates are like, "Oh yeah, I got my period," like I'm happy. Wait, why me? Why am I suffering? And I would curse, like at the storms and at the skies, and like, why me? And stuff like that. So
Oh my
now
God.
that I got diagnosed in my 20s, it became understandable, but still, like, it's such a topic that just irritates me because I want to talk about it all the
Oh, what's crazy? PCOS to me, I feel like in the past year and a half, that's when I started hearing more and more about it. I didn't even know it was a thing. And
time.
I've been working in the medical field and I've studied a lot of aspects of medicine for a very, very long time. And I had no idea PCOS was, excuse me,
Yeah,
girl, I had no
yeah,
idea PCOS was what it is. Like,
yeah,
honestly, the past, I want to say maybe year and a half is when I started listening to people talk about PCOS. A very, very good friend of mine, her daughter-in-law, she has PCOS. So I'm just like, wow, like this really exists. And I noticed as I've gotten wiser, I don't know if I want to say the word older. But you know what?
yeah.
I'm gonna embrace it. As I've gotten older, I realize I'm like, oh, this is like super painful. What is happening? Why is this happening?
Bullshit.
Why does this hurt? So it's crazy that during our teenage years, we weren't well, I'm not diagnosed with that, but just hearing the stories, people like women weren't being diagnosed with PCOS.
At
Like
all.
new, right, right.
Even endometriosis, I think it took a while for people, and it's
Uh,
even worse. Like now that I hear stories, I'm like, damn, Jay, maybe you were not that cursed, okay? Thank the gods. But people, like women, tell horror stories, and a lot of these women sadly had to lose their uteri because they weren't properly diagnosed, and people are like, oh, you're bleeding, oh, it just happens. And
yeah.
this is the same stupid story. Like,
Mhm.
oh, it happens to everybody. No, it does not. When girls are like bleeding their uteri out,
Yeah.
no, this doesn't happen to everybody. And when someone is like in pain for 3 days, no, it doesn't happen for everybody. Like,
Right.
come on, why are doctors thinking that we women are like hysterical, stupid, like overrated? You're exaggerating and shit like that. Who discovered it? My female dermatologist. She's the one who told me, oh my god, because I have a lot. It causes a lot of crap in your
Yeah.
fucking body. All of your body is just affected by it. So she was like, Jay, why don't you make like blah 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 blood tests? And then I
Mhm.
go and I go to a gynecologist and he's like, oh shit, and it's ultrasound on me and he's like, oh, can you see these black dots? And I'm like, yeah, what is that, doc? And he's like, these
Wow.
are the ova that do not go with your, they were lining. They just get stuck. And I'm like, really, to me? And at first, of course, I was so dramatic and I wrote about it extensively, poems, like, oh,
Yeah.
my body's turning against me. Why, my ovaries, are you doing this to me? And I felt so bad for my ovaries.
Why?
Trust me, I was like talking to my ovaries, like, why can't you function? Why can't you be normal, please? And then, you just get along with it. And now every single thing comes back, and I'm like, oh, PCOS, now I get it. Oh, now I know why this happened. PCOS, shit. So
That's
yeah.
crazy. Oh my gosh. Then that's really like I don't even know how to explain it. It just all I want to say to my body around that time of the month
Get fired.
because I don't I just You get tired, you get headaches, and listen, growing up, it was always something where it's like, well, you don't complain. This is that time of the month. You're a woman, be strong. So for a
Uh-huh.
long time, I'm just like, yep, basking in my pain. It makes me stronger. Until finally I hit my 30s and I'm like, no, this hurts. Like, yeah, I do want chocolate. Yeah, I want comfort food. Yeah, I want to lay down. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk to anybody. I don't want the light on. I want to be alone. I want to cry alone. Like, this is uncomfortable. And I wish I would have basked in that feeling since I was younger, because they tell you, be strong. What are you talking about? You're a woman. It's like, no, I don't want to
What?
be
It happens.
strong.
And it happens to every no, it does not happen to every single woman. Whoever said this, like even the grandmas, like I remember because my grandmas were alive back then, so I remember them, and this they have the sage wisdom of the world. No, no, honeys, maybe your periods were good, maybe they were mild, unlike the shit storm that's going on in my body. So yeah, it just reflects.
Well, you know what time it is. And honestly, all right. So total transparency, mi gente. Here we don't follow any of our own rules at all, ever. We just like to mention them because it makes us seem like, this podcast is full of organization and whimsy. But joke's on you because we're totally the opposite. And the rules of these episode, I had to think about it. And when I couldn't come up with rules, I said, okay, so this is very simple. We won't have a moral. We won't really have rules. We're choosing not to rule this episode. We will just tell our stories as funny as they are and leave it be because, what could possibly be the moral of a funny period story? Like, I
Nothing.
don't think there's a more, right.
What's the moral in this shit? I
What the
hate the
fuck?
period, guys. What can be the moral of a period? Nothing.
Right. What's the moral?
Yeah.
Don't get your periods. Like, we can't.
I wish there was a button where it's like, no
I know.
period, goodbye. And when you don't have it, it's menopause. And this is another shit that I hope we're still around to talk about.
You're fired.
I can't even begin to think.
No.
I don't even want it. I
Me
just
too. Can I pass? Like, seriously?
I don't even want it. So there
No.
are no rules. And this is what we're talking about. Funny Gals Talk. And that's on period. Literally. And as always, our little disclaimer, Jay and I have had many similar experiences in life. And this time, our experiences have brought us together to talk about the crazy, funny period stories we have. And surprisingly, we still walk outside every day with our heads held high and live life with no regrets at
Never.
all. And that's on period. So,
Wow.
Jay, do you want to tell your story first?
Look,
I can go
I can't.
first.
Yeah. Do it, please.
Yeah? Okay.
I feel like you have something awesome.
Girl,
Something shitty.
so I don't know. I think mine's might be shitty too. Of course, I'm gonna spin this in a very funny light, but okay. So to start, I feel like we should have like fucking a violin playing. So I was a late bloomer. I didn't get my period till I was I was like 13 years old. So I was already a teenager. And when I did, I was super happy because I was like, oh my gosh, I belong. Because all my friends had their periods already. And I'm just like, why me? God, why me? I was very sad. I would wake up every morning and be like, "Oh, we got nothing.
Oops. Still no.
We got nothing, ladies and gents. There's nothing there." So when I finally got it, I'm like, finally, I belong. I am one of them. I am part of the period clan. So I was kind of prepared because I would ask all the girls that had their periods questions, so I can just better prepare myself. I was very super annoying at a very young age. So preparation for me was key. I've always been like neurotic, I guess, in that sense. But, I wanted to know. So I asked a lot of questions. So just to let you guys know, there are going to be two stories here, but the second story is going to be a clip on Patreon because it's not well, okay, not only is it hilarious, but it's kind of explicit, and I don't want the YouTube gods to strike me down. I'm just gonna tell you that much. The second story will definitely be on Patreon. Okay. So the first story, I was minding my business as always. Okay, as one does, and one of my
Yeah, Michelle, you mind your business. Oh yeah, on me, on Jay.
girl, I don't know why I've been this way since birth. Like,
Michelle minding her business. Sure, continue, baby, continue.
so I was kind of minding my business, and right, and one of my friends, she just asked me out of the blue because again, I really kept parading around. Like I didn't really keep not getting my period a secret because I was asking so many questions. So one of my friends was like, "Hey, did you get your period yet?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, why are you asking? Do you smell it? Like, do you think it's coming soon?" Because I didn't get it yet. Like, I was just like, "Oh my god, stop!" I'm telling
Oh
you,
man,
girl, this was like a fucking accolade for me. I'm just like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be the coolest girl on the block."
I'm getting the serious. What the hell?
So I was just
You
like,
had
"No,
this face.
huh?"
You had this face of being a cool Michelle. I can feel it. Trace yourself.
Seriously though, I was just like, "Oh my god, stop it." So I was like, "No, not yet." But, whatever. All right, but anyway, so just for context, again, I was 12 when she asked me that, and I believe she was the same age because we were in the same class. The thing is, so my birthday comes at the point where I always turn 1 year over, but it looks like I'm 1 grade under. Like, it's weird, whatever. We're
Okay.
weird here with school. So I was 12 and she was like around the tail end of 12 or something like that. So I was like super sad, like, no, I didn't. What am I gonna do? You know? And all the girls that were my age were walking around like, I got my period today. Don't even talk
Ooh,
to me. I need something sweet. I'm just like, oh my God, I want that to be me. Right. So, like all girls do, she was like, hey, let's go to the bathroom together. Cause that's where we went to go hang out all the time. So she's like, oh my God, take me to the bathroom. I said, sure, whatever. So we went to the bathroom together. And for some reason, a whole bunch of people just started coming in, filtering in and out of the bathroom. So we were like, oh my God, hi, how are you? How's class? Oh my God, he's so boring. And we are talking, whatever. So finally, it was just the two of us. And I actually had to fucking pee. So I'm like in the bathroom. I come out, I'm washing my hands. And I hear her ask from the stall, she's just like, "Hey, have you ever seen a pad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen a pad before, like, they were in my mom's drawers at home and stuff, like, yeah, I've seen pads before."
yeah,
So she goes, "Oh, okay. So do you wanna see my pad?" So I thought she was, like, trying to show me,
like a
like,
normal.
girl, I thought it was gonna be, like, a supernatural pad. I'm like, "Oh my god, I think I've seen all," because again, I was doing so much research, I would literally go to the library.
Goodness, you're the science whiz kid at school, researching our pains. Oh my god, I had a friend like that. Goodness, continue. Oh my god, I can see you.
Girl, it was terrible. Fucking you remember the Encyclopedia Britannica? I wanted pictures. I wanted to write a paper on the female's
Period.
menstruation.
What is
Period.
it?
Period. What that be? So I was like, "No, I've never I've seen no." So I was like, "Yeah, I've seen a pad. I've opened them up, whatever." She's like, "Okay, so you wanna look at my pad?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And she comes out with a pad. She walks out. She has her pad, her used pad
I
in her
know.
hand. And then she goes, "Have you seen one like this?" And I'm like, I just literally
Oh my god, what did you do?
that's that's how
No, no, this girl is mean. Oh my
I felt like my body was moving in slow motion. So I just look up at it so slowly and I'm like, "Oh,
god.
mm, what's that?"
Goodness, who is this mean bitch? Oh my god, is she still friends with you? I hope not.
No, I haven't spoken to her in a long time.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna suggest this. I was going to suggest that.
And I think we kind of all split up once we got to different high schools. We all split up and we all went different places. But when I tell you,
Good
okay,
riddance.
listen, so you remember the movie Carrie?
I was gonna tell you
When
this is such a
they
scary moment.
fucking dump the pig's blood on her?
God damn, I know.
but it was like on a pad.
Oh my, what the hell was wrong with you, woman? What the hell was wrong with you, whatever you are?
I
Yeah,
was okay. I was shocked. I was shocked, and then I just kept staring at it. And as I stared at it, I'm like, why the fuck would she show me this? Like, it's like mathematical equations just floating around in my head. And I'm like, Why? Why is she doing this? Why is she showing me this? My mother didn't even show me this. This
no.
is, and this fucking girl, she's just like, oh, here you go. This is it. Like, what am I supposed to do with this information? Am I supposed to pass it down from generation to generation? Like, do I show my pad to everyone and hope that other women are like, here you go, redemption women? Like, what am I
Take,
supposed to fucking do?
take the flag of honor. Take it. Yeah, we hand it from one to the other. One stained pad to the other.
That was a lot of fucking pressure for me at 12 and end of 12 years old. I'm just like, all right, I don't know. This is what it is to be a lady. This is it.
I'm gonna bleed like a pig. Damn.
Read it and weep. It's like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh my god.
And I will tell you that right there is the weirdest thing I have ever encountered. Well, it's on the list because I've
Yeah, there is
encountered
a
some
lot.
weirder things. It's
I
definitely
know.
on the list. But it's definitely like one of the wildest things that I've ever encountered or experienced, at a young age. I'm just like, oh, did I recover from it? Of course I did. I'm resilient. Why wouldn't I recover? Only the strong survive. Did I want to be put in a situation where I need to survive? Like, do I want to be on survival mode when you're changing your pad in the stall next to me? Not really. Don't want to, but it happened. And I mean, I don't even know. But listen, as soon as I had daughters, as soon as I had, girls, I was like, okay, I told them the story. And every time I tell, like my oldest daughter, she was just like, why would your friend do that?
I know. What is her problem? This deranged person. Seriously, girl. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like some people are just. Oh,
Yeah. So that's one thing I think if I took anything from this and we said no morals, we are not ruling here. But one thing I did take out of it was like I have to tell the girls the story. Like once I have children and if I have daughters, I have to tell them the story so they know like, whoa, whoa, don't you dare pull out that pad on me.
exactly. Like anybody tells you, girls, do you want to see my pad? You just say no, no.
No,
Yeah, you warned them. You saved
You're
them.
fired.
no,
You saved them this mess.
no.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that is my story. That's my story. And I
That's an
have to
awesome
stick
story.
to it. No pun intended. I'm sticking to it. Um Yeah. It was fucking weird. I will never forget that.
Awesome.
Ever.
But because it's crazy, girl. Like now, I want to go inside her head and see why she's like, I'm gonna show her my pad. Like I want to know this psycho. Why would
And
she do it?
I know, and you know what? Maybe she had good intentions. Maybe she was just like, well, you
With the
know,
goodness of the universe. Oh
right,
my.
like you never know because maybe she's like, well, she really wants to know. She's never experienced it. So let me just help her out so she sees what she's missing or something. I don't fucking know what she was thinking.
When I was in school, I think a girl wanted to show me her butt, but I was like adamant, like, no, girl. Thanks, mate. I even back then I wasn't that strong. Like I wasn't that strong. But she was like, I gotta show you something. I like, maybe show it someone else. Maybe someone really likes butts, but I'm not into that. Sorry, babe. We
Girl,
were
stop
like,
showing your ass. Why are you showing your ass?
I think she was trying to seduce me, but I was like, no, I wasn't even like, no thanks, doesn't work for me.
Stop showing me your ass. You see, I don't know. I don't know. When
Girls
we're
are
young,
mean. I
and also
know.
when you're young, I just think you do in your head. Like I guess we're learning about what consciousness is and right from wrong. We're learning about all these things. So I guess her way of, hey girl, you want to see my ass? You're like, my conscience is telling me no, I don't. I don't want to see your ass, but thank you.
I'm afraid that I would have been, like curious and like, yeah. Thankfully, I wasn't because back then I was way more curious than I am. Like, because I might have just, like, yeah, well, okay, let's go and see. Thankfully, I did. Thanks.
You know what? I think that's what happened to me then. I think the girl was just like, well, she wants to know everything about it, so she
Yeah,
must be curious. So I'm just going to
might
show
as
her.
well give it to her.
Right. I'm going to give it to her raw, and she will see it. And it's just like, oh man.
Oh my god, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah. So my second story, just for some context, yet again, and again, this is going on Patreon. So, all right. Well, Patreon, we love you. So, Jay, do you want to tell us your story?
I think my story is gonna be really. Oh my god! I hope I can like top that because really my story is like me being me, like Jay being stupid Jay as usual. I'm the kind of girl who doesn't walk with like an extra pad or extra whatever in her bag, and this caused, of course, like a lot of criticism. When we're all girls and stuff like that, they're always like, "Oh, Jay, you should do this, you should do that, you should walk with napkins, you should walk with something." Like, yeah, I'm sorry, guys, I barely hold a bag just to put my like phone, and that's it. Like my wallet, that's bullshit. But then they'll be like, "Oh my god, no, you should work with this. You don't have the deodorant, so I put the deodorant. You don't have a perfume, I put the perfume, and then you don't have an extra pad. Oh my god, what happens?" And I'm like, guys, already my period is just so like light and just stale. It's because PCOS is different. You don't get too much flow. The flow is just so rigid at times. It's so like a little at times. So it's not that big of a deal, really. So,
Mhm.
but then I felt like, oh my god, like people just giving me a hard time, even my mom, even everybody. I'm just gonna put an extra pad, and then I'm going to the bank, okay? And the bank teller is just going there, and I'm like, he's like there and calling my name, and I'm just there, and he's like, oh my god, what do you want? And I'm just making an exchange or something, and he's like, oh, can I see like a copy of your ID? And Jay's this mentality because Jay's like always worried around paperwork and stuff like that, and official stuff. So she just has the extra pad. She didn't push it down. Like for me, I'm like, oh man, I'm going out. Let's just take this mother and put it in this bag and go. And the guy, if I tell you what's on the guy's face, like he's like about to, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? And I'm like standing there being a bitch, like, hey, get it up. Like I didn't even notice what I did. So I'm like,
Here's my ID. What are you
hello,
doing?
exactly, no, my diva poses. And then I realized what I did. And then I look, and a woman next to me is like getting her checks or whatever done, and she just looks at me horrendous. And she's the kind of woman that, oh man, these kind of women, they scare me a lot. And she's like motherly, like a typical woman. Like for me, at least get her like to be a small young girl so that I could laugh with her, or like a Michelle
Right.
type, so we could just fist bump. No,
The chest bump. Boom. You're bad, bitch. Boom.
no, she's like the type who would look you in this face like, oh. So I like, ow, snap. I forgot something, and then I ran. I didn't even continue. I didn't even finish. I didn't want to see anybody's face in this bank.
Wait, Jay, you ran out of the fucking bank?
I know. I did.
That's fucking amazing. You said, you know what? Run, Forrest. Run. You didn't stop. You were like,
I didn't even like correct. I couldn't.
I
I
love it.
couldn't face all these pictures. I don't want to see any one of them again. I went to another branch. Can you believe? Like, okay, I need my stuff done. Another branch. We have another local branch where I go. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows about the incident.
That's
I'll
great.
go and just give them the copy of the ID. And let's get it over with, ma'am. No. Oh my god.
That is great. The fact that that's hot. The fact that you just ran out that way, that takes a lot of guts. Because I think I would just stand there and awkwardly stare like,
No, baby, not me. My fight and flight is just so like intense. Like
that's
seriously, I'm
good.
the best at running. I run all the time. Like I run out of like if a guy told me like I love you and stuff and I don't love him, run. Like what?
Damn,
What?
that's good. Not me. I'll be like, "You love me?" Well, I don't know. Maybe I think I love you too. You think we should start a
Oh,
family? Like,
oh,
my fight
girl.
because I make things a lot more awkward than they should be. Like that's just in my fucking nature. So I'm like, "Oh, maybe we should start a family sometime." Nice to see
You
you.
hate the bust. Oh my god. Oh my god, girl. Oh shell.
Nice to
Oh
see
shell.
you. Nice to see you again. It's like, "Oh my god, you're married, Michelle?" I am. "Oh, I thought we were starting a family together." Uh, did I say that? All right, I'll call you next week,
Oh my
and we'll
god.
figure things out. Just kidding. And
So
we'll
what would
figure
you do in the bank? You would just stumble for the paper. And, oh my god,
girl,
man!
girl. I would be like, I think again, I would just make a horrible joke out of the entire situation, and I'll
So
make
make it worse.
the teller will feel uncomfortable. I think the teller will be like, "Ma'am, I can no longer take care of you." It's like, "But why? Come on, we're friends. Come on, we just got this. We're this close now. You saw my pad. You touched it. It's fine. Look, I'm okay." Ma'am, I can no longer take care of you. Security is on their way. It's like, "Ah."
Drag you out. But why? Where are they carrying you?
I know they're carrying me. I'm like, I thought we were friends, and they're just like carrying. No.
Ma'am, please. Oh my
And he's
god.
looking at me like, "Come on." I'm like fighting because, of course, there'll
You're
be like
dragged out.
massive security, like, "You're coming with us." I'm like, "No."
Down. No.
Damn, put me down. I know my rights. It's like, ma'am, get the fuck out this bank.
Please, you're scaring off the tellers,
You're
ma'am.
scaring the children. It's like, come on. Damn, Jay. I mean, you know what? One thing I did learn now that we're grown, it's like, whatever. At least you know I'm keeping clean and we're protected here.
See, this means I'm clean.
You're a
Which means
clean
that I
girl.
used to be trash because I'm doing
You're fired.
No, you're not trash.
Oh
Um,
my god.
but
Now I
maybe
have this pair once I'm clean, you gotta love me. Don't you worry, baby. I clean up real good.
you clean up real well, you see?
Oh
You're
my god.
a hot piece of woman.
Oh man.
Oh man. Damn. Okay. No, that's for me. I would say in my 20s, that would have been petrifying too. I'm not going to lie because it's just like, again, periods on a serious note, as serious as we can be, periods are such taboo. Like, nobody wants to talk about not only the reproductive system and how the fuck you make babies and where babies come from, right? Nobody, at least not, at an age where it's appropriate for us to learn about this stuff. Nobody ever wanted to talk about it. So we kind of just walk around this little world, or you and I did, right? Amongst other people, I feel like that are our age, at least most of the people I've spoken to, we had no fucking idea what any of this was. And going back to my story, that's probably why the chick was like, "Here you go. Look at my period pad. It's Carrie. Here she is." And the
Yeah.
same with you, you dropped your pad and you're like, "I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm never coming back to this bank again. Although it's right around the corner, I will go 30 miles out to another bank." Because like it's such taboo, we're never able to express ourselves, to talk about it, and nobody ever spoke about it to us in a way where we will be comfortable to say, "You know what, this is fucking normal. So what, a pad fell out, so what, this, oh, sorry, wrong ID." Put it back in there and grab my, you know what I mean? So I totally get it. I understand where you're coming from.
Of
I'm just
course.
sorry you went through that. But just to let you know, if Michelle, okay, I don't know if I have a Greek name, Michelle, I don't know. But if Greek Michelle were there, I would definitely be like, "Ugh, titty bump, go ahead, girl. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a fucking
Exactly.
overnight? Right? Is that an overnighter? Woo, woo, woo. Heavy flow, bitch, heavy flow." That would have been like, I would have been your number one supporter in that bag.
Definitely. You would have had my
Absolutely,
back, babe. Yeah.
absolutely.
I know. I know.
It would have been such a terrible situation. We would have both been carried out by security. Like, "No, wait, she needs her money. No." We would have been like,
We're dragged. And I'm the
"No."
melodramatic one. Like for me, it would be like, no, please, please. They'd be like
And me, I was
dragging
like,
her.
"What are we doing? I thought we were all friends here."
You're the friend you, and I'm like, no.
It would have been a fucking disaster, but I would have fucking chest bumped you. All
Oh my
right.
god, I was just sending, well, like, oh my god, sending my friend Clay like this Egyptian heartbreak scene. Like we were talking about Closer, the movie, and stuff like that, and he's like, "Wow, this is my favorite heartbreak scene in movies." Like, dude, have you seen a heartbreak scene from an Egyptian series or movie? And I sent him this. I hope he doesn't get knife. It's like a woman, like, nah, the guy cheated on her and died. Okay, so she was just sad that he died, and she discovered she cheated on her. So she's like, nah. The whole scene is hysterical.
Ah! I just realized. Can I tell you? I just realized I said Greek. Oh my God.
But
I'm so
we have,
sorry.
come on, we have a lot of Greeks in Alexandria. You know, Alexandria, baby. Yeah, la, 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 la. So if you're Alexandrian and have an Alexandrian name, which would be like Misho or Mashamisho or something like that, definitely, you would have just bumped me.
Oh,
Like,
well,
yeah, girl.
funny enough, they used to call me Misha, which I think one of my Russian friends told me.
See?
Yeah, he used to be like, "Hey, Misha,"
So,
and
or
he
Mimi or something. Like, this would
yeah.
be like, this is what we call you here.
A lot of
Definitely.
people would call me. A lot of people do call me Mimi, and actually,
See?
another podcaster, shout out Miss Ty from Realistic Vibe Podcast. She calls me Mimi all the time. She's like, "Hey, Mimi." So yeah, that would be my Egyptian name. Why did I think Greek? It must be because last night I was hanging out with one of our neighbors. She's Greek. She's
Yeah.
the sweetest fucking person ever. And there was like there's these Broadway shows that are going on in the park. And she was like, "Oh, I would love for you guys to come and meet everybody, whatever." And of course, I wore my It's Me Shell podcast shirt, and Shane was taking all the pictures. They hired him as a photographer. It was like a great time. So I think maybe it was still in my brain, or maybe I'm just still
Definitely.
having a rough time. I'm still
Because
having a rough time.
Alexandria is next to Greece, and we Greeks lived in Alexandria. Like, we still have all the Greek culture, and definitely, I don't feel like Alexandria is different from Greece. For me, it feels like Greeks and Alexandrians are just close, next of kin. You know, like they're just close,
Got
or
it. So
cousins, or something.
maybe I was just feeling that vibe from
You
you.
feel that
Maybe
vibe
that's
for me because I'm Hypatia, my love. I was a Greek goddess in the past life. No, I think I was like trash. I think I was like a lion or and ate
No,
people.
you think you were trash? Somebody told me I was fucking burned at the stake. I'm like, why?
See?
They're like,
I
my best life.
totally, totally.
I'm like,
Like
why?
a sorcerer or something. I can't, or a vampire who's just like
I'm
living
like,
low.
right. I'm like, look at me. I'm fucking cool. Why the fuck would I was burnt? And I was like, you know what? I was burned at the stake for being too cool. Like I gotta calm down.
Exactly.
I gotta calm
Yeah.
down. This coolness. I just gotta calm down. If not, I'll get burned at the stake again. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Hopefully
if
it
we're bringing
doesn't.
that back. Are we bringing that back?
Hopefully not, because a lot is coming back, but not this, guys. Not this. Need ourselves. We're not gonna get you. Not gonna give you ourselves. Hello.
I hope not. Ah, mi gente, we have reached the end of Funny Gals Talk. But before we go, I always give Jay the opportunity to let you know where you can stalk her. So, Jay, where can they stalk you, girl?
You guys, Instagram, Twitter, it's Jaylan Salman, and then you have the J Days YouTube channel. This is where everything just takes place. A lot is taking place right now, and I'm just happy to meet new people. Oh.
Oh, yay. I love the J Days. I tell you that all the time. So you heard it, mi gente. Make sure you follow. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and for listening to our shenanigans because and I love the fact that we just we kind of are in the same mindset where we'll be talking about one thing and immediately go into something else. And then we're like, you know what? I think we need to come back to center. We need to come back to center. Namaste. Right? That's what they
God,
say.
I wish. Yeah, we need to come back to center.
We need to come back to center.
Trying.
Well, it's what we always do. We always try.
Hey, mom. Okay. My mom's like, interrupt. Mom, do you need anything else? Sorry, because this is my mom. She's like insanely. You need anything else? Good. Awesome. Bye, mommy.
Aw. Hey, mama. You know we love Mama J.
We love mom and she loves you so much. This is why, like, she's interrupting your podcast because she loves you. That's the thing. I think she's just trying to sneak her way in.
She's like, all I'm gonna do is see her little head, like,
I know.
and then security will pull her out. No.
Out of the verse of the podcast verse. Like,
Well, mi gente, make sure you tune in next month to Funny Gals Talk episode 7. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at itsmi.chelle. Click the link in my bio for podcast platforms and so much more. Make sure you subscribe to the It's Me Shell podcast on YouTube and on Patreon. All the links will be in the description. And lastly, if there are any topics that you would like to talk about or you would like for us to talk about, make fun of, DM us, email us, get all that stuff over to us, and we will do what we have to do. Add your stories to the episode, whatever, all that good stuff. And that's it. That's all we got. Peace and love. We out.
I see you. It's me. 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 Shell, bitch.